Hey guys, Matt Hoffman here. Welcome back to another shop episode. We've got the Bikeman titanium can and the silicone charge tube that they sell. Come in a bunch of different colors. I went with red. I think it'll look pretty good on this sled. Gonna go ahead and do a full install. Hope you enjoy. Now, just to bring you up to speed on this sled, I've done a couple things already. We've got the Simmons skis here. We went with a full Cheetah Factory Racing bar setup. Looks super cool. And then we did do an Ice Age big wheel kit and bomber rails as well. I would have made a video on it, but Caleb Kosterky's already got a really good video on how to put all that together. So go check out his video if you need help with that. But that's how far we are on the build. Now it's time to put on the can and the charge tube. Get a quick sound comparison here. All right, so to start, I'm just going to take off this little nut right here. It is a size 10. Pull this off, then we can start working on this. Got her off pretty easily. Now to get the other one off here, it is a size 10. I'm going to use an extension to get up in there because it is a little bit tight. So there we go. Easy enough. Just have to pry it a little bit loose and it comes right off. Now on the side here, I'm going to sneak the camera in. Got to pull that spring off is the next step. So use a spring puller and get that off just of the back side here. Just pulled it out. You're definitely going to want a spring puller like this though if you don't have one. Otherwise it's going to be way hard to get out. There's not a ton of space in there. So good luck. Use a spring puller. Going to want to get this hose clamp off the top here. It's just a flat head. Comes right off. Now that we've got this clamp loosened, I do recommend we're going to want to take off some of these springs here for the turbo and the wastegate. And once we get that turbo loose, then this will pull right out. So you've got two more springs. They're just right there. You can kind of see that. I've got one of them undone. I've got one more to undo. The longer the spring puller you got, the better. But once those are undone, should be good. We are also going to need to take these springs off here as well so that everything here is loose, and then you'll be able to pull this out. Once you pull those two springs off, this will come right off, and then you'll have better access. I've already got those springs off, so we're getting pretty close. Just got to make sure everything's off. One of the last things here I'm doing is I'm just removing the sensor just right here. It takes a 17, break it loose, and then you can just do it by hand. That would be the last thing, or you can just break it loose now and don't pull it all the way out and then loosen it with more space if you want. After all that, you're going to want to lift up on the turbo. You'll see it's loose. And then you can pull this guy right out. Definitely helps to have a buddy with you, but you just have to pull up. The hard thing about doing that is that you got to pull it up right over that pin there. Once you get it up and over that, which is why the turbo needs to be loose, she'll come right out. All right, there's the two exhausts together side by side. The titanium can by Bikeman is going to be 10 pounds lighter, so you're going to drop 10 pounds in the process, probably get a lot better sound. And a lot more space too. Now we just got to put her in. Don't forget we want to reuse this silicone strip here. So make sure that is right there. Fits perfectly. And then when you put your can on, it'll rest right on that strip. All right, we fit her on. Still got to get the turbo attached. Got that portion right there over the pin. And as you can see, it rests nicely down there on the subframe. And don't forget, we do need to do our sensor here just right on the back. So we got that in. Now just need to tighten it up with our 17. Make sure the wire to that sensor is not tangled up with your pull cord here. I recommend zip tying it up in there to where it's not going to touch your turbo or your pull cord. Then you should be good. Now, before I do any of the springs or anything, I'm going to do the clamp first over the turbo. Want to get that nice and straight and fully put in before we start doing any springs or anything else. There we go. All clamped up. All right, now that that's all done, I feel comfortable putting these springs back together and getting this connection here done up. After that, we're going to be going a little bit further because we are doing the charge tube here. So I already went ahead and pulled off the charge tube in the little box right here so that we can swap this out for the Bikeman one. Bikeman one is definitely looking nice here. Won't have to worry about cracking or anything like that. Pretty thick silicone material, looks quality. Now that I have all the springs back on, everything's starting to feel really solid here. I zip tied this sensor up out of the way from my pull cord and the turbo. And we're gonna start on this next. So you're gonna wanna pull this donut off the wastegate portion here of the exhaust. We're gonna be reusing that here. You'll notice this side has some flex in it. And we're just gonna pop that right on top there, like so. And then we can add this piece back and get it fitted. So you're gonna take that donut and that coupler, push it down here, decent inch and a half or two. That way we have enough room to fit this piece on both. Okay, so we got the top portion on. We've done the springs here. Now we just got to attach the bottom portion. And we're gonna use that stock coupler here to get that on. All right, we're getting pretty close. Now we just got to install the charge tube up top here and reattach our intake. We should be good. We got it fully installed. Here's the old exhaust, the old charge tube, new exhaust. Looking pretty dang sweet. Let's start it up. Pretty dang happy with how this thing turned out. It sounds super good now, looks super good, and we'll be on the snow tomorrow to see how that 10 pounds feels.